Hello and welcome to VHS Era. Now, we got a very exciting show for you, as we are not going to just talk about South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut with one person, but two people, as we're talking about it with someone who worked on the movie, Toddy Walters, as well as a fan of South Park in general, Zac Lane.
Nice to
So,
meet you.
yeah. So, Toddy, can you tell us what you did on South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut?
Yes, I can. I played the role of Winona Ryder in the movie. And if you know the movie, you'll know that near to the end of the movie, the United States goes to war with Canada, um, and which back then seemed kind of like crazy, but you don't discount anything these days. But so Winona Ryder was part of the USO touring show to entertain the troops there.
The ping pong ball part.
Exactly, exactly. So you witness her first from behind, and it looks as if she's shooting ping pong balls out of her vajayjay. And it turns out that when they pan around and show her from the front, that she's actually just holding a ping pong paddle in front of her area, and just they're shooting ping pong balls at her. So it's not what you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were also a production office coordinator, right?
Yes, so I worked on the film for about a year and a half um, in Culver City. And I was the production office coordinator, which means I wrangled about 100 animators day in and basically day out just to get the movie finished. And so I feel like I had a real deep look into the making of the movie and got to meet a whole bunch of incredible and talented people. That was exciting.
Yeah. Now, Zach, can you introduce yourself?
I'm a devoted animation enthusiast who has been dedicated to uh, researching animation history as well as drawing in my drawing cartoons in my spare time. I'm a big fan of South Park. I've been a fan of the show for at least several different decades. I collect the merchandise. I've seen virtually every episode, the movie specials on Paramount Plus. Yeah, and South Park is one of the very shows that I basically live my life around.
Now, I got a question for both of you. Uh, have you seen this movie on VHS?
Actually, no, because I didn't watch it until VHS went out of style.
And no, I never did because I just saw it in the movie theater once, and that was the premiere, and that was it.
Coming to theaters.
Gotta just say one thing. Paramount really did nothing with their coming to theaters logo. Like, if you look at how Disney did it,
Coming to theaters from Walt Disney Pictures.
They really put on a show.
yeah. And here it's just like white words against a black background and a barely interested sounding narrator saying,
Yeah, the voiceover guy they hired was like, "How long is this session going to be? 2 minutes. Okay, just say it. Welcome to theaters. Thank you. Here's your $50."
One. Hey, hey, kids, I'm talking crusty. Two. Hey, hey, here comes Sideshow Mel. Again, here comes Sideshow Mel. Sideshow Mel. Three. Bada bing, bada boom, I'm done.
That's about it.
yeah, it's, well, I hate to say it like, say it about something that's like the work of professionals, but this is something you could pull off in iMovie.
Yeah.
No,
Does not instill a lot of like confidence in the previews.
yeah, not even iMovie, Windows Movie Maker. But even if that seemed a little phoned in, maybe the previews will be better.
Yes.
So, 2 persons murdered. Is anyone suspected?
Constable, how much have your superiors explained to you?
Only that they were slain, their heads found severed.
Their heads were not found severed. Their heads were not found at all.
The heads are gone?
Taken. Taken by the headless horseman.
We have murders in New York without benefit of ghouls and goblins.
You're a long way from New York, Constable.
Murder needs no ghost to come from the grave. The assassin is a man of flesh and blood, and I will discover him.
This is also produced some of Trey Matt's movies, like
Yeah, Scott Rudin.
Yeah. Wait, no, sorry.
South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and Team America World Police.
And then also The Book of Mormon on Broadway.
Oh yeah, they're also making and I think Trey Matt are making another movie with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, I did hear about that. And I will say that as someone just who's seen the movie Sleepy Hollow, I think that was a pretty effective trailer in setting up the mystery thriller vibe that the movie went for. Show how it sort of balances being sort of this like mystery set in olden times, but also has like horror elements to it. And as someone who's seen it a couple times, remembers liking it, yeah, I would say that trailer would sell me on the movie. What do you think, Toddy?
Yes, I mean, they had me at Johnny Depp, but also I am a Tim Burton fan. And so I remember seeing this movie back when it came out. So I don't remember much of it, but I remember really liking it. And I feel like the trailer has everything you need, and it has enough like scary moments that I think I would definitely not pause on it or forward.
Oh, what did you think of the trailer, Zach?
My sentiments are pretty similar to Toddy's. I think that was an effective trailer.
Yeah. I will just say I noticed like two things, which is that they have this scene with a family that I don't remember being in the movie. And what really stood out is I think the little kid is played by Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle, if I'm not mistaken. Or it looks
I think so. Around the similar time frame, except Malcolm in the Middle came out a year later than Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah. And I noticed like the very first scene that in that trailer that actually is from the movie, of course it has to be the scene with like several Burton regulars, not just Johnny Depp, but also Alfred from Batman and Jeffrey Jones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thought that was kind of an interesting choice to pick that. And last but not least, it's weird they released it during Thanksgiving and not Halloween.
Yeah, but I was thinking that maybe they, the studio had their reasons for pushing it back. Who knows? Maybe they just got off track of time. Maybe they just wanted people to be thankful that they have their heads. Who knows, you know?
Yeah. Zach, why do you think they released it on Thanksgiving?
Well, I have no idea, actually. I think that it would have been more effective if they released it closer to Halloween, because it's a horror movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Now available on video cassette.
Still the same low effort.
He needs some caffeine.
Yeah. And the person who just created that screen also needs more caffeine.
Right. Like, try harder.
Yeah, like South Park they literally make episodes of South Park in a week, and they try harder than this.
Well, back when the movie was made, it took them at least a year to make an episode. They only started making episodes within a week, starting from season 4, from what I've heard.
I do consider myself half Vulcan. I did draw the line low at having my ears surgically altered.
It began as a vision of the future.
The best thing I've ever done in my life.
Star Trek, the blueprint for a better mankind.
It became a phenomenon
I've been asked to marry people.
that has touched millions.
Everybody's seen the picture of Barbara Adams.
I wore my uniform just as any other officer in the military would wear theirs.
Star Trek is part entertainment and part philosophy.
Now, they've got their own movie, Trekkies.
I'd rather be known like as a Spiner femme.
I like that.
Who's your favorite captain? Kirk. He's a stud.
They're devoted.
This is my 3rd convention.
20 or 30 or more.
50 or 60.
They're misunderstood.
Welcome to Starbase Dental.
So, this is reception.
This is where the patients check in.
It's not like any other dentist office I've ever met him.
And they may just be the most intelligent life form you've ever met.
This costume is the uniform that I've designed from the film project that I'm working on, and it should be noted that this is only a prototypical version.
I am guard 48, and this is guard number 28.
That's right.
16 to go, please.
Do you like cheese on a superstar or without? Without cheese.
Have you ever served a Klingon before?
Yes.
We actually take turns being different characters, and it helps our
relationship, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
How's it going out with different people?
Trekkies.
I am one of those people. Oh, my God.
So that looked like a pretty fun, goofy documentary on the Trekkie fandom. I could see maybe like someone who went to like get this movie on VHS, seeing this and thinking, oh, that could be another like fun, goofy movie to watch, even if it is PG rated, which is a bit strange, but otherwise it looked like a pretty fun take on your typical documentary. What did you think, Toddy?
Well, I thought it definitely caters to a nerdy sense. However, it feels to me like it was kind of made by people who aren't Trekkies, more like newscasters interviewing people. It kind of felt like like if it would have been made today, I feel like it would have been a little made by actual Trekkies, and I don't know who made it or anything, but I think it seemed like it was a little insensitive in showing them being a little quirky and nerdy to me. I feel like it wouldn't be made that way today.
Yeah, now, what did you think of the trailer, Zach?
Certainly, I can discuss the nuanced aspects of it. The discerning eye may observe that the trailer in question seems to cater more to a general audience, possibly at the expense of engaging the core fan base, commonly known as Trekkies. The imagery and thematic elements presented may not resonate with individuals well-versed in the intricate lore and philosophy of the Star Trek universe. It's plausible that the trailer's primary objective is to attract a broader audience, introducing the franchise to newcomers who may not be intimately familiar with its history.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I think this movie came out in the late 90s where it was, even though they were like throwing like big budgets at like Star Trek and Star Wars movies, we had like Star Trek Insurrection, Star Wars, The Phantom Menace. Like, even though they were seen as profitable, they were also still considered somewhat niche and goofy, like something that you're a nerd if you take too seriously. And nowadays they're more like commonly,
Riffing on nerds was popular up until at least the 2010s.
yeah, exactly. Like even in like Disney cartoons, you'd see like parodies of like Trekkies or Star Wars fans. I think in a Goofy movie, there's this nerdy guy they just cut to for a second in a Trekkie outfit.
Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me.
And that's how you know he's a nerd.
What about the woman who was a cast member? She said, I've had people ask to marry them. And does that mean that she was getting marriage proposals, or does that mean that they were asking her to officiate their weddings?
I have no idea. The challenge lies in finding a delicate balance between appealing to new audiences and respecting the existing fan base. There's a delicate art in crafting content that can simultaneously welcome newcomers while preserving the essence and the integrity of the source material. While a trailer may be designed to appeal to a broad audience, a thoughtful approach is required to ensure it doesn't inadvertently marginalize or misrepresent the dedicated fan base. Striking a balance between accessibility and authenticity is the key, fostering an inclusive environment that both new and established fans can appreciate, which I think would be the case if it was made today.
Yeah. And I think like, when just in general, the 90s sort of had that problem. Like they were trying to like adapt those sort of nerdy, geeky franchises because they thought they were profitable enough, but they were trying to make them also more more palatable for a general audience. And I think like blockbusters that try to do that do sort of a better job at that balance than they did back in the 90s. Like a good example would be the Godzilla movie from the late 90s versus the Godzilla movies we have now. The Godzilla movie from the late 90s was just Jurassic Park, but with a giant lizard more than it was Godzilla. And nowadays, the Godzilla movies we have coming out now, Godzilla versus Kong, the King of the Monsters, they're more like comfortable, resembling Godzilla movies. And that's just one example of many.
Coming to video cassette.
My God.
What's a cassette? No,
E F F O R T. Put it in.
You and I have known fear together. Shed blood together. And it is that knowledge that will bind us together forever. That and a love for this country that no bayonet can pierce, no bullet shatter.
Morning, sir. Where to? Urban warfare site.
This is certainly a tragedy for the general. We don't want it to become one for the army.
Yes, sir.
Captain Campbell's death, occurring as it did on post, will cause a sensation.
She was a strong woman. How did he hold a gun on her and manage to tie the ropes?
Warrant Officers Paul Brenner and Sarah Sundell, sir. You're going to have to decide on this one. Are you a soldier or a policeman?
I'm a soldier, sir.
I'm counting on it.
Why was she murdered?
Well, possible motives for murder are profit, revenge, jealousy, to conceal a crime, to avoid humiliation and disgrace, or plain old homicidal mania.
Liz was more or less my protege.
Did you work together on a daily basis?
Absolutely.
Did you, play together?
What a truly
Excellent question.
Come up with anything yet?
Just a preliminary list of suspects.
Who?
Everyone. This is it.
Good Lord.
$10 says these are not the Lost Honeymooners episodes.
She's a freak, and that's what freaks do.
Oh, my God.
Were you aware of Elizabeth Campbell's extracurricular activities?
Paul. It was kept confidential.
Did you make out a face?
Of steel and used to clear snow.
The right way, the wrong way, and the army way. You better start thinking about your career.
You better start thinking about yours.
What, she violated the code? She cheated? She lied? What?
Worse.
God.
Drugs?
Worse.
Rape?
Worse.
You'll ruin it all.
What's worse than rape?
When you find that out, then you'll know everything, won't you?
That's a movie. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look great. It looks there.
Pretty much.
It's like something you'd watch the trailer for in theaters and be like, oh. Did that trailer grab you, Zach?
Honestly, not really.
Yeah.
It appears the trailer, perhaps inadvertently, fails to encapsulate the nuanced essence of the upcoming movie. Well, the then upcoming movie. My lack of enthusiasm may stem from a perception that the promotional material does not adequately convey the depth and complexity expected from the movie. The artistry of the trailer lies in its ability to offer a glimpse into the thematic tapestry and narrative intricacies of a movie. In this instance, my apathy is a reaction to the perceived superficiality of the trailer, which prioritizes flashy visuals or marketable elements at the expense of communicating the substance and intellectual depth that the actual movie may possess.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It just looks like a generic thriller.
Or if you look at it from like a feminist point of view, why is it that the kinky female has to die? You know?
The trailer leaned on formulaic representations rather than presenting a true reflection of the movie's core themes, characters, and underlying philosophy. In essence, my apathy is an informed response to a marketing strategy that undersells the film's potential, missing the opportunity to engage the audience intellectually and emotionally.
It's a trailer.
Right.
Yo, Jay. Wait. Yo, you're a new kid, right? I'm from North Carolina. Yo, you play ball, Mike? I play baseball. Baseball?
By the way, my name is Mike.
Big Mike in the wood.
Oh, what's the wood? It's not what you think it is. Nah, it's Inglewood, California. That's where I grew up. Me and my boys, me, Roland, and Slim. Well, I never thought I'd see the day Roland get married. Man, we got 3 hours till this wedding kicks off, and can't nobody find him.
Tell that fool he could at least face me like a man.
Get back in that car because you marrying legally.
Y'all act like you did in high school.
Hey, Mike, I dare you to grab her booty. I will give you $1.
You remember the bet?
You remember the bet, Mike?
You know I remember the bet. Do you remember the bet? Oh!
I was thinking about all them school dances.
I used to have all the girlies, right?
Oh.
Yeah, you can dance, right? Oh, yeah. I'm like Dan Skeeter. Wait, let me tell you something, all right? Ooh. Girl, I'm gonna tell you something. What's this?
Oh, snap!
I'm getting tired. I think I'm gonna stop.
Y'all just jealous, that's all. Yo, you know what, man? You need to just grow your ass up, man, and handle your responsibilities, man.
I just don't want to be wondering what if.
If he didn't want to get married, he shouldn't have asked.
He said, I love you, I want to marry you.
Go away, Roland.
I mean, man, females get way too much power with this, man.
Stop, Slim, stop.
We can make this a physical thing.
I'm not ready.
Well, how long we been going together?
Is it supposed to look like that? What you doing? You don't think I'm gonna give it up after 1 week? Wow! I see not a lot has changed in high school.
The joke's over. Pass the clothes. Yeah.
We're close.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Back in the days
play this game for life.
I'm glad he got you guys for friends.
Yeah, I like that. Back it. Hey, yeah. Back it. Hey, yeah.
Saying? Let's go.
That could be good. It looked like it could be kind of like a charming sort of coming of age comedy. The cast seemed to have decent chemistry. I can't say there were any like laugh out loud moments, but it looks like a movie that could be just sort of a pleasant watch. Probably not something to be rushing out to see, but like if someone said, hey, want to watch The Wood, which I'm going to be embarrassed here. I thought that was The Best Man for a second. But if someone wanted to say, hey, do you want to see that movie? I wouldn't mind.
Wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I'm partial to Taye Diggs, so I'd probably see it, although I didn't see it. But it looks fun. Looks like it's kind of a little adventure for a bit, and a look into a different culture from my own.
Now, Zach,
wouldn't mind.
would.
I'm referencing the very show that paved the way for South Park.
Oh,
that's true. Yeah, I do wonder why it's called The Wood.
Oh, because the Inglewood, California is where it takes place.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, do you have any strong feelings on this trailer, Zach?
Yes, I do. The trailer captivates as a charming coming of age film through its carefully crafted trailer, seamlessly blending poignant moments with a nostalgic atmosphere. The trailer skillfully navigates the delicate balance between youthful exuberance and the complexities of growing up, offering glimpse into the characters' journeys with a nuanced perspective.
Yeah,
the portrayals of friendships, self-discovery, and the inevitable passage of time. The cinematography, accompanied by a soulful soundtrack, evokes a sense of warmth and authenticity, drawing viewers into a world where innocence converges with the transformative nature of adolescence.
I came late to sets. I was nearly 10. That was when my friend Mark Watkins told me how babies were made.
Really? Are you sure? Yeah.
For over a year after that, I thought babies were made when two women tied a man to a bed and covered his willy with ice cream.
What's your favourite flavour? Na-na.
While most young men were discovering girls,
Cover me in honey and suck it off with a straw.
John Dixon. She is sex on legs.
Stephen Carter
Stick to your own balls.
discovered the truth about himself.
He's stunning. He's got eyes like Brad Pitt. Okay. Fuck me. No, I don't mean... I just mean...
He's got a lot to learn.
I like you a lot.
Promise.
Promise.
About who to tell,
We're lovers.
In your dreams.
It's true. That's who I was with all last weekend.
when to hide,
If you tell anyone, it's off.
and how far
We've done it, and he loved it.
Don't bullshit me.
he's willing to go.
You really are queer.
You have to be more discreet. People aren't stupid.
When you're not like everyone else, you have to be a fighter
What do you know about my life?
and a dreamer
So risky.
Life's a risk, Lings.
to make your life your own.
Hi, Kev.
Well, join us if you like.
No.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T, take F-T-C-B. Sock it to me, 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 sock it to me. Go, hey, little bit, little respect.
Okay, well, that is the end of the trailers. And for the last trailer, I was really getting into the trailer for this movie. I thought it looked like a really sort of interesting coming of age little dramedy. And then they have to go with the most cliche song choice. Nothing against RESBCT by Aretha Franklin, but like how many trailers have used that song? Or just movies?
Right. And for a like what looks like a moderately low budget independent film to be able to afford that song,
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's in the movie itself, but
right. The trailer's a little different.
yeah, the marketing team probably had more money than the
Oh.
movie did.
Right.
It's just more like it's just one of those songs. It's like it's been played so many times in so many different movies. It's like kind of takes you out
And
of
you don't want people to like the song better than they like your trailer.
or
Keep the attention on the trailer.
at
Because
least they
that's
don't.
immediately makes people want to sing along, or me.
Yeah, like don't let it overshadow the trailer at least.
Yeah, exactly. Something a little more heartfelt would have been nice there because I'm sure there's some touching moments in it. It reminds me of like I've been watching that the show from the UK, Zac Sex Education. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I've been watching it and it kind of it's so funny to see a movie from that long ago because it's such a different take. Sex education is so much more of a mirror of the modern society or what like Hollywood wants it to look like, that it's just such a different world.
I haven't seen Sex Education, but I'm sure it does. And yeah, like again, this is probably a great little indie coming of age movie. It looked like it. It's just like the tr then they pick such an iconic song to pair it with, and it like completely ruins the mood that they were building to.
It kind of I've noticed that the late 90s were full of all these great coming of age movies like Election, American Pie, Varsity Blues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's a very particular sort of feel to it that was only in like a bunch of those types of movies around that time. And that was a really budding time for independent film.
American Pie became a franchise, obviously.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I mean, they still like make coming of age movies now, but they were definitely really popular like in the late 90s. And again, I'm sure this movie is just as great as those. Again, just don't have don't edit in a song that overshadows the rest of the movie. But with all that being said, it is now the time, or it is almost time, to rate them. But I just realized one thing. So every time I have a non-musical movie, or almost every time I have a non-musical movie, there's been a soundtrack promo. Every time I've covered a musical, there is no soundtrack promo. Why isn't there a soundtrack promo on this VHS?
I know because it was
I have no idea.
It was a very well done and popular soundtrack.
Yeah.
They sold a lot of CDs.
Am I permitted to give my opinion of the trailer now?
Yeah.
The trailer elicits a humorous rant sentence, cleverly intertwining comedic elements that pique our interest. However, the perplexity arises from the R-rated designation, as the trailer doesn't overtly show explicit content. This intriguing contrast between lighthearted humor and a mature rating prompts curiosity, leaving you to contemplate the hidden layers within the narrative that may delve into more complex or mature themes.
Yeah, but thank you for sharing that. And now I think it is time to rate it with uh, stay through the previews or skip to the feature. Um, by that I mean, well, we either rate it through saying whether or not we'd like to sit through the previews or just fast forward to the movie.
Mhm.
Kind of a hit and miss barrage of trailers and the most low effort uh, VHS intro I've ever seen. Um, Preceding a really great and fun movie that's also a very clever satire on censorship and just sort of the culture of parents blaming anyone but for themselves for how their kids turn out. Um, but I don't know. Some of these trailers were good. Some of them, yeah, less so. I
They were
don't,
very hit and miss.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe like, but maybe like fast forward through some, stay for others, and then, but just mainly watch the movie.
Well, in the theaters, at least you could forward through them, whereas if you went to the theater in enough time to see the trailers, you would not be able to. You'd have to sit there, and
Yeah.
not the case.
Yeah, but sorry. But Toddy, what do you think? Stay through the previews or skip to the movie?
On all of them,
Yeah.
I would have stayed for Sleepy Hollow. I would have gone straight past the next one that featured what's his face, John Travolta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have watched The Wood. I don't remember what was in between there.
There was Trekkie and Get
Oh,
Real.
Trekkies. No, I would have watched Trekkies. I definitely wouldn't have because I love documentaries.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think I would have fast forwarded through the last one because that was captivating.
Yeah, so stay through the previews.
Stay through the previews.
Right. How about you, Zach? Stay through the previews or skip to the feature?
I routinely watch trailers, even if they're good or bad. But probably if I had the choice, probably skip them because they're not indicative of what the contents of the movies are like. What I meant to say by contents, I mean like whether or not it's good or bad.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks again. And Toddy, do you have anything to plug?
Well, unless you're going to be in Basalt, Colorado in March to see one of my cabarets, I have nothing going on other than, I don't know, Kevin, if I told you about the movie Stadium Anthems that I did it came out in 2017.
Yes, you did.
Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Well, that was the last film work I've done other than like small other various things. So I've kind of like let go of that. So plugging anything other than my local work is, but I would like to do another album eventually. That will happen eventually. Because right now I'm just archiving all of my past songs that I've written ever since like for 25 years. Archiving all my cassette tapes of song parts and songs to mini disc tapes to compact disc tapes and then digital recordings I've done. I'm kind of like trying to get them all into one space just for archival purposes to get me into the songwriting mode.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
How
me.
about you, Zach? Do you have anything to plug?
Oh yeah, please tune in to my podcast series on YouTube called The Crazy Blacked Out Show. I haven't uploaded any recent episodes, but more are coming this year. I was just busy last year, so unfortunately it's been on a month-long hiatus, but more is coming.
Okay.
Good.
Well, thank you again for coming on to VHS Era. And next time, we're going to cover something else animated, but it won't be a musical. We're just going to have to wait and find out. And we'll see you then.